At first glance, this is, well, it's just a web page. Kind of dated, an old online forum, the type of thing that gets lost in all the noise of the internet. But what if I told you that this simple page is actually a digital monument? A quiet testament to a 70-year-old war and a home that doesn't really exist anymore.
And that's the big question we're going to tackle today. We're about to go on a little archaeological dig, sifting through a digital artifact to uncover this incredible story of loss, memory, and that powerful human need to belong somewhere. And it all starts with a title we need to crack.
So this is the name of the online community. Now, for most of us, this is just a string of Korean characters. But this isn't just a name. It's a story, a history, and a declaration of who they are, all packed into 3 little parts. So to really get what this community is all about, we kind of have to become code breakers. Let's break this name down piece by piece and see what secrets it's holding.
Okay, so that first word is misubuk, and it's a really powerful and honestly a profoundly sad term. It doesn't just mean lost, it specifically means unrecovered. It implies something was taken away and it still hasn't been returned. That one word just sets this tone of longing and a story that's not over yet.
The second part of the name tells us exactly what was unrecovered. Kaepung-gun. This was a county, a real place where people lived. But during the Korean War, the armistice line was drawn. And just like that, Kaepung, which was once part of South Korea, found itself on the other side of the border, in North Korea. It became totally inaccessible, a hometown lost to geopolitics.
And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, gunmin-hoe. This basically translates to a residents association. It's a pretty common thing in Korea where people from the same town get together to keep their shared identity and culture alive. So we know we're looking at a formal group for the people from Kaepung.
So let's put it all together. What do we get? The Association of Unrecovered People from Kaepung County. Wow, right? This isn't just some random online forum. It's the official gathering for people from a place they can never go back to. It's a community built not on a shared location, but on a shared loss.
Okay, so now we know who they are. But how long have they been trying to keep this memory alive? Well, the webpage gives us another clue. A single post that pretty much unlocks their entire history. See this right here? A post from 2020 titled The 65-Year Abridged Annals. That one line tells us this is not a new thing. This community has been around in one form or another for over 6 decades. This single clue lets us build a timeline of their whole journey.
With that one clue, we can map it all out. It starts back in 1953, when the war technically ends, and suddenly their home is just gone. About 2 years later, around 1955, the refugees who made it to the South get together and form this association. Decades go by, and then in the 2000s, they adapt to the digital age and create this very webpage. And that brings us right up to 2020, when they quietly marked 65 years of holding onto a memory. So, that long history brings us to today. What does this community actually look like now in its digital form? Well, the webpage gives us a very stark, very telling number. 49. That's it! According to the site, there are only 49 members in this entire online association. After 65 years, for a county that once had thousands of people, this is what's left in their official digital town square.
And that number just immediately begs the question, why so few? The answer, it turns out, lies in the incredible challenges a community like this faces, a community whose homeland really only exists in stories.
The biggest challenge really is time itself. The original refugees, the ones who actually remember Kaepung, are now elderly. For their children and their grandchildren, Kaepung isn't a place they've ever seen. It's an abstract idea, a story passed down. I mean, how do you keep a culture alive when its physical home is gone and the direct connection to it is fading, year by year?
But even with all of those challenges, the fact that this webpage is even here at all, that's what's truly remarkable. It speaks to something really fundamental about being human. We have to see this site for what it is. It's not a failed social media page with low engagement. No way. It's a living monument, built not out of stone or bronze, but out of shared history and just a stubborn refusal to let go and forget. This is how they've had to adapt. Think about it. Communities have always needed a town square, a place to meet up. For the people of Kaepung, a physical space was replaced by a digital forum. In-person meetings had to become online notices, and that bond they had of a shared geography, it was transformed into a bond of a shared history. Ultimately, this small, quiet corner of the internet
is this incredibly powerful testament to the idea of home. It shows us that a homeland is so much more than just a place on a map. It's an identity, it's a story we carry with us, and it's a connection we will fight to preserve, even against impossible odds.
And all of this leaves us with one last big question to think about. This digital ghost town is one community's answer. It might be quiet, it might be small, but for 49 people, it is their way of making sure their home, the unrecovered county of Kaepung, never truly disappears.